back here on Factz Ova Feelingz, and you already know who I am. I am the Grandmaster Jay, right back at you for part 2 of tonight. We got a couple of things I wanted, I was talking to y'all before the break about some of the possible charges that they could be facing in the case of Breonna Taylor. And we went over some of those potential charges, but during the break, I did get a chance to talk to some of our legal staff, and they said that there was another more grievous charge that they actually could be hit with, which would be the worst case scenario is wanton murder. Now, that's completely different. That's a capital offense. You know it, if somebody gonna get the needle for this one. So that's the extreme. I had to throw that out there because I didn't include that in the last session. Now I want to talk about something that I was asked to talk about, and it's actually interesting because the Most High actually gave me a real world example of this when it happened. So when I talk about it, I can talk about it from the perspective of something that I just experienced. Well, the first thing I have to talk about, and I was reading an article by Eric Garner's daughter, and may she rest in peace. But she wrote a piece before she passed where she was talking about one of the things that she found out when she tried to inject herself into the movement, so to speak. That's what we're going to call it for sake of anything else, the movement. That she was surprised at the conflicts that were going on, between some of the same people that claim to be after the same thing, but the conflicts, and that it wasn't this kumbaya, melting pot of everybody who wanted black liberation and wanted everybody to be treated as an equal human being. It wasn't that. It was people who had their own, to hear her say it, she says that conflicts will stop us from being united long enough to win. Conflicts can destroy movements. The need for funding can turn allies into competitors scrambling for the spotlight. Media-ordained spokespeople co-opt the work of grassroots leaders. From tactical differences to infiltrator sabotage to internal struggles plague social change work. Present movements against police brutality included. That's what his daughter said. She found that out after just 4 months of trying to work with people behind her father's death. Let me say it to you again, and you will see that it's still happening today. Conflict can destroy a movement. Somebody's trying to cause conflict because they want to destroy the movement. And you really sitting there thinking, well, who would want to do anybody? Some people that even surprised you that you thought was all right. They was all right until a real movement came along. And now all of a sudden they're trying to destroy it. She said it. Conflict can destroy a movement. The need for funding, people want money, can turn allies into competitors. Oh, so so we trying to get this money, so we can't wait on you, so we're gonna go and form our own branch and we're gonna collect our own money. And then you wondering why I don't have nothing to say about it, because I don't know that they've done that until y'all raise the roof because y'all tired of paying money to them. See, some people just after the money. And if that happens, people that are used to be aligned with can become your competitors, and they scrambling for the spotlight. See, that's something that a lot of folks that come into the movement don't understand. Don't worry about all them cameras and all that. That'll pass. Unless it serves a purpose for you. See, I studied Malcolm X. I watched what he did. Malcolm X would never go on a TV show or agree to any interview where they muscled him. He always went on the interview, let them ask a few questions, and then he would flip it on them, and it would be nothing but the Malcolm X show for the rest of the time the camera was on. That's how you got to be if you're going to deal with these people. Don't let them invite you on their show and then they asking you a bunch of pre-set up questions, which is putting you into a construct to make you either look like an idiot or to make it look like you some extremist, or that you one of a kind, or that you crazy because you playing their game, because they running neurolinguistics on you. If you don't know what neurolinguistics is, you need to go and research it. 3 truths and a lie. 3 truths and a lie. Always. That's how you control a people's mind. 3 truths and a lie. Now, I tell y'all all of that because I see the same thing. I see a lot of people that really want to work together. And they have come to the table, and it's beautiful when you see all of us just come to the table and we put our differences to the side because we realize that the goal is greater than our problems. Let me say that again. The goal is greater than our problems. Matter of fact, the goal is greater than the sum of all our problems, because the sum of all our problems don't equal anything to what our ancestors went through. Y'all don't have it hard at all compared to what those people had to endure. Y'all don't have it hard to like the people who came out of slavery and what they had to endure. You don't have it as hard as the people who had to watch their cities burn down, bombed from the air by the white folks when they blew up all of the towns around the 20s. Y'all don't have it that hard. Y'all ain't got to go through Jim Crow where you got to come through the back door. Okay, where you can't drink out the same water fountain, where you can't piss in the same tub. You get in the pool, the whole pool is closed. You're not even a whole human being. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Y'all don't know nothing about enjoying the fruits of the civil rights movement and when it was fresh, when everybody was just trying out affirmative action for the first time, trying out, these programs, trying them out. Because we wasn't used to that. You understand what I'm saying? So if you can't get together now, when you got it better than you've ever had it, you really think that you're going to be able to get it together if they continue to roll stuff back? You see what they doing? They trying to initiate a famine in the land. Now the supermarkets don't keep as much food as they used to. What happened? They stopped making synthetic GMO food? No, they didn't. Those factories ain't closed. Where all the food going? Right. They control your environment. They can cause a famine if they want to. Don't you know that the Fed, which is not, they bought it Fed as FedEx, is a private corporation, but the Fed that controls all the money, if they say that a depression is healthy every now and then. Make everybody spend up everything they got. Give the economy a boost. Don't you know the biggest way to make money is war? That whenever there's a war, everybody profits. Everybody. Everybody working, all the factories is producing, everybody doing something for the war effort. That's why they say a war is healthy. Never mind the millions of people, them people that get killed. That's what you call collateral damage. So, I want y'all to understand that I was kind of shocked when I came in and I saw the same thing that she saw. I saw that there were some people who will cut your throat for some funding. I also found out that we got some people who live for the spotlight. Then we got some other people who are media ordained spokesperson. Every time something go wrong, they roll their ass out like they was out there and they sitting there. Well, yeah, Bob, I think that nobody asked you nothing. You wasn't even there. You just giving your opinion. That's not news. You want the news? Come down here and talk to the people where shit is happening. And that's where we kind of segue into where we going today. Brothers and sisters, you've heard me talk about the slanderer. Yes, you have. You've heard me teach on the liar. Yes, you have. I have expounded on the weakling. Yes, I have. And I have unpacked the hypocrite. Yes, I have. I've covered envy, jealousy, and every other one of those facets from the books of morals and precepts. But I think that now that we have some walking, talking examples, it's rather easy for us to show you a clear example. I find it interesting that most people today, and I don't know why, don't know the basic steps in the research process. Do you really know how to research something before you open your mouth and sound galactically stupid? Do you know how? Do you know the 8 steps of researching? Or do you just go to the University of Google or look at Wikipedia and say, I now know? No. That is not how you research. As a matter of fact, do you know how to research without touching a computer? Do you know how to really go dig up the dirt? Well, somebody wrote me and said, Jay, if you don't mind, could you spend a few minutes and teach the youngins about how you actually research something? I said, it would be my pleasure. Because if it's one thing y'all know I have no problem doing is going to get the original document. Pull up and talk to the original people. Read the original report. Go to the crime scene. Smell the air. Taste the street. Do whatever I got to do. Like when I went down to Brunswick and I told y'all, when I looked at it and and what I thought about the media, them two stories did not match. That made us start asking questions, didn't it? And then everything came out. And now it got so bad, one of them is under a sexual and crimes investigation. That's how wide open we blew that by asking questions. So y'all know we gets up in the case. So it shouldn't surprise you that there's a methodology. So I'm trying to help some of y'all so that what happened today was a prime example of what happens when you don't do your research and you ollie uts and free follow some idiot off of a cliff, and then you got to try to crawl your way back. I've taken apologies today in alphabetical order for all my NFAC people. I've taken apologies all day today from some very nice people who said I jumped to conclusions. I did not do my research. When I went and did my research after the fact, I had to come back and in front of all of my people, I had to retract what I said. When if you had done your research in the first place, you would have been like, no, that's some fuckery over there. I can't. I'm not falling for that. You understand what I'm saying? If I jump out the window, are you going to follow me? Or are you going to try to figure out why did I jump out the window? And it's amazing to me how many people, especially in the black community, is quick to pick up something and run with it like they heard some because they only believe 3 or 4 people without realizing those people got you brainwashed. They have fooled you by putting a cover over themselves to appear. Remember, it's written in the scriptures to give the appearance of intelligence. But when you strip away the veil, you find out there's no intelligence behind them at all. It's some self-serving purpose. And then when the truth comes along, see, they have to wither. Y'all know the story, what was going on. One of the Nephilim spirits was roaming around because that's where all spirits come from. It was the spirit that was left over from the killing of the Nephilim that were birthed from the union between woman and the fallen angel. So now the Nephilim spirit is on the loose and it done pulled up in this little girl, acting a complete fool, just acting a goddamn fool. Her mama went out in the square, grabbed 3 bros who claimed to be the know-it-alls. They studied the scriptures. They could recite the scriptures. They claimed that because they ate right, they was in touch with Yah, and they went in there and they tried to cast out the spirit. Y'all remember the story? They tried to cast the spirit out. They was making up all kinds. The spirit was just sitting there like, who is these dudes? And they sitting there, and so because he was so offended, he whipped all their ass. Just everybody got their ass whipped. Just ass everywhere. Just acting a goddamn fool. When suddenly, Yeshua stepped up in the joint. And the minute that he stepped in the joint, they chilled. The ass whipping stopped. And the Nephilim spirit looked at Yeshua. And the spirit was cool. The spirit said, now. Him, I know. I don't know who the hell y'all are. But him I know. And my man was cool. He was gangster. I told you that's a brother we talking about. He was gangster with it. He said, you damn right you know who I am. But I ain't asked you to say nothing. Shh. You can't talk no more. Now, let's go ahead and get out here. Let's get up out of here. It's time for you to go. And he got up out of there. The point I'm making is a lot of y'all are finding out today was an excellent example that you're listening to people who are putting on a charade for you. And now that charade is being threatened because somebody's doing something and not just talking, they're trying their best to destroy it. And they're playing on your need for information so fast that you don't do your research. You see, step 1 when you're researching something is you identify and you develop your topic. You select the topic. Selecting the topic of what are you talking about? What's the purpose of you putting this up? You got to have a topic. That's the first thing. Then you got to go and do a preliminary search for the information. I mean, go find out what you can. Don't just look online. Go look in some newspapers. Talk to a few people. Call some experts. Find out what the hell's going on. Locate some materials. Don't just take a post off somebody else's post. Go to the actual article itself. Cite the source. Let it be a credible source. A news article, a video link, not something somebody done posted, something that's real. Go to the source. And if it's in a paper, be able to call the paper up and ask them about the story. Know that it's real. Evaluate your sources. Make notes. Don't just go off the top of your head because you heard somebody said something. If you're doing research, you're taking notes. If somebody said, I want to talk to you about something, you don't mind if I take notes, do you? You don't mind if I record this, do you? Take notes. You ain't gonna remember half the shit they said by the time you get back. What'd she say? Write it down. Don't just put it in your phone. Write it down. You lose your phone, all your notes gone. Write it down. And make sure you give credit to the right people. Don't be saying something that came from somebody else and it came from some people over here because you ain't did your research. Then you get blindsided. And then when you get done with all of that, proofread your research so you don't come out here and say nothing crazy. I just gave you the 8 steps of researching. Develop the topic. Do a preliminary search. Locate some materials. Evaluate your sources. Make some notes about it. Write it down on paper. Cite the sources properly. Proofread it. Now you're ready to come out and say, this is what I found out. Instead of everybody running around jumping to goddamn conclusions only to find out, man, this shit came out 6 years ago. Where you been? You was asleep. They pulled the wool over y'all eyes. Now don't y'all see how deep this shit is? I've been saying this for almost 6 months. Y'all know they hid the election. Y'all know they hid some candidates. There's 24 of us that they hid from y'all. And now people are nitpicking and cherry picking, trying to get y'all to run off on these tangents. No, goddamn it. Go ahead and check, and if you consult with the Presidential Candidate Directory for the Federal Elections Commission, you will find out that from August the 15th of 2015 until March the 9th, until March the 19th of 2018, I was still a presidential candidate. So how in the hell could I be working for a federal agency? I'm sorry. Don't you know who does security for the presidential candidates? It's the Secret Service, you idiot. You don't work as nobody's fucking security. This ain't no hip-hop concert. The hell is wrong with you? I was a presidential candidate. That shows that you really don't even know what you're talking about. Once again, you didn't know I ran for the presidency either. So of course you would think I would be somewhere just sitting my black ass up in there with all them damn white people. No, I was a candidate, you dumb fuck. And that's where they set you when you were a candidate. I had to see this shit for myself. I couldn't believe this man was doing these things. And I synced it. And then I challenged his ass to a debate on race, and he ran from me, chased his ass to Phoenix. He got away from me again. But y'all didn't know none of that because y'all was too busy being hypnotized. Now, if you had done your research before you pre-printed that shit, you would have known that. But everybody else, they waited. They was like, wait a minute, Jay talked about this already. This is a prime example of what I'm talking about. Yet, this very same people are the same people telling y'all I'm an agent, and some of y'all believe it. That I'm getting paid, and some of y'all believe it. And y'all tell me, Jay, don't pay that shit no mind. I'm not the one paying it no mind. You are. I can tell by how y'all coming and going and coming and going. 1 minute you over here and you saying, yeah, he got a point. Then the next minute you over here, yeah, I'm sorry. You see what I'm saying? It's not me. I'm watching y'all. I know the truth. But it's just like listen, we go through this every month. Remember a couple of months ago, I told them to stop bringing me spooky shit. Remember that? Remember I said, I don't want to hear no more rumors. Don't bring me no more alerts. I don't want to hear that shit no more. From now on, we issuing threats. From now on, we giving out rumors. From now on, we the ones that want to, you know what I'm saying? We want to have to give some apologies. Remember that? So that all that stopped. Now we got some new shit. Instead of having the threats and they going to blow up something and all this, they done went to a new tactic. Now it's to come up with old shit and play on your ignorance. And have y'all, I don't know now, I was with them until that. Then you really wasn't with us. If something that simple can make you walk away from all of this shit after everything you seen, then you ain't no different than the people that went down to the Red Sea when Moses had to split the Red Sea. You the same shit. You done seen all of these miracles that he done did, and that damn the sky rain done came, they done killed the firstborn, it's locusts and shit, all kind of shit happening. And yet you down here, I don't want to go, I don't believe in it. And I ain't split the Red Sea open yet. And you stand there, I just don't know if that means, we're lost, we're out here. Black people, y'all are a challenge. I know what y'all trying to do. Y'all trying to make me break up with you. We ain't breaking up for nothing. Told you don't come in here. You can talk to me about anything but that breaking up shit. I'm not breaking up with y'all for nothing. You better put some cheese on it. Ain't nobody going nowhere. They trying to make me break up with y'all. I'm not breaking up. I'm not one of them brothers that's going to turn my back on the black race because y'all won't stop giving me a daily headache. It just have to be a relationship with a headache. I just keep a bottle of aspirin and some alkaline water. Mm-hmm. Now, not going to talk about the fact that if you keep committing slander against somebody that they can take your ass to court. especially if you're outright lying, trying to damage their livelihood. I believe the man is trying to damage my livelihood, so I'm going to see how he looks when he is confronted by the police with a lawsuit. Since y'all like to use the police, let me show you how you properly use the police. And then all of a sudden it's going to be, I was just playing, it's not that serious. It's always that serious, especially when I've never met you. I don't know you. I've never had words with you. So for you to come out and put this much energy into me, either you're in love with me, which I've told you before, or there's somebody paying you to do it because I don't know you. I keep telling you, if you're in love with me, I'm going to send you a big ass bouquet of flowers with them big ass balloons shaped like lips. And it's going to have a little ass card. It's going to say moist nigga. And then it's going to have also a little envelope with a little gift. And I guarantee you I won't hear from you again. Otherwise, keep my name out your mouth because I'm out here trying to do work. Find somebody else to attack. Otherwise, I just got to wonder what your motives is. Because I can't believe that a slanderer and a liar who can't go and do basic research and determine that I was a presidential candidate seems to be fascinated with my candidacy. Notice last time it was the picture with Trump. Oh, he's out there with Trump. No, we were at the 9/11 memorial. All this is the same story. He just picking pieces out. I said, oh, you won't debate me on race, but you'll take a picture with me. We were all out there for the 9/11. Hillary was out there. I'm a goddamn candidate. What part of that don't y'all get? That you are talking to someone who ran for the presidency in earnest and you knew nothing about it because they hid it from you. Didn't mean that the candidacy ran any less. Speaking of the candidacy, you know, they had me thinking, well, maybe I'm crazy. You understand what I'm saying? Maybe I don't have both sides of the story. You know, let me tell you what the upside of getting both sides of the story. You build trust and respect from the entire team that you are fair to all, and you can create a better solution to the problem by solving. This is what you do. If you get both sides of the story, then you can make a logical decision. But if you're only going on half of the story, you're going to make a half-assed decision. So what I did was, so that I would make sure I'm not crazy, I actually went to the campaign finance board that you can go to on yourself. It's right here on fec.gov, and just go to candidates and then go to committees and type in my name and it comes up. I'm looking right at it. Matter of fact, I think I'll show it to y'all so y'all think that we ain't BSing up in here. Let me show it to you. I'm not making this up. Hold up. Let me go ahead and take that loose. I'm going to show y'all what I'm talking about. I'm looking at it. Turn the camera around. Hold up. I went and I looked my damn self because I want to make sure I'm not crazy. That didn't work. How you turn it around? It won't turn. Okay, how do I turn it around? How do I flip the camera? Y'all, hold on. I got to figure this. This is a new camera. We got, oh, there it go right there. Now, if y'all look right here, I'm looking at the website right now. Right? This is the government website, right? And you got everything about the candidate right here. So you can come up here and you can look and you can see what it says. So I'm looking, type president, independent. Y'all see what it is, right? Look at the date. Look at the date. So I'm looking at the date, right? So I'm going, okay. And that name go right there, candidate for president, right? So I'm looking like, now wait a minute. How the hell was I supposed to be? How was I supposed to be somebody's security guard when I'm running? Now hold on, I ain't done yet. Let me go and show you something else. They keep everything on here. That's the information. You can go and this is public record. This ain't nothing new. This is something that's up here. Anybody can go look at this. You can look at the committee that set me up. Who was on my committee? Hold on. Let me open it up. Let me open it up for you. Hold up. I wanted y'all to see that. I wanted y'all to make sure that I wasn't crazy. So I went and I looked, wait for the document to open up. Here it come right now. This is the actual statement of the candidacy. It shows you who it was and who my team is and all of this shit. Now, the crazy part about it is it got all your information right here. It's on the website. So I'm thinking to myself, now turn the camera back around. So I'm sitting here trying to figure out, well, why couldn't they go do this research themselves? Now, let me show you something. I'm going to show y'all something. We ain't done yet. When you are no longer a candidate for the presidency, they issue a letter to your campaign that lets you know that you will no longer have those protections, Secret Service, all that good stuff. So remember, that was in August of 2015. Now look at this. Here is the memo from the Election Commission, right, that was sent out to our treasurer, pretty much telling them that we had already, and look at the date, that we had satisfied all of the requirements and that we could now terminate the campaign. You understand what I'm saying? And now I was no longer a presidential candidate. Now, to sound like Bill Cosby, now, if I'm supposed to have been a security guard in 2016, then how in the hell was I running for the presidency? Wait, hold on, I got one more receipt for you. I ain't done with you yet. Hold on, come here, y'all. You can also look on this website, and it shows you who was on the committee. It shows you my whole motherfucking committee. It shows you people, everybody, the whole committee to elect me. It's all there for public. You can go look this up yourself. Do y'all not see the lesson that I'm teaching you tonight about doing your damn research? This is something that before you open your mouth, you should do your research. You're talking reckless and you're looking stupid. You could have went and looked all this up yourself. You didn't need me. Hold on a second, y'all. Let me plug this back up. You didn't need me to come along and tell you these things. But I just want to show you all. Somebody asked me, could I please show the children how you do research? You see what I just did? I went there and I found all of the things that I needed to be able to say, is this true or not? It doesn't add up. But let me ask you this. How do you do your research when there is no internet? How do you do that? How do you do it? And then after I want you to think about that, because the next thing I want to ask you is, how much do you know about how you can use your pineal gland to assist you in searches like that? They probably wonder how he go from A to B. Because I want to talk about something. Now, there's other ways that you can go and you can look up things. You can go to libraries. You can interview people. You can read the actual books themselves. You might find out that some things are missing from those books. Books is your biggest key of resource, and then talking to people is number 2, but also visiting places, taking pictures, actually getting the other side of the story, talking to all parties involved. Don't just go off what one person tells you. You'll come out looking a lot smarter. And depending on how much melanin you got in you, it might mean that all of it is being used. For instance, how many of y'all know what the Fitzpatrick scale is? Do you know what the Fitzpatrick scale is? The Fitzpatrick scale is a numerical classification scheme for human skin color. Yes, it's a scale. It's based on how much melanin is in your system. Now, the way that they break it down, I don't want nobody to get mad when I call out your group. The more melanin you got, the higher your score. So we're going to start at the bottom because there are, remember, this scale that I'm talking about only has 6 levels. Level 1 is type 1. They got a score in about 0 to 6. They always burn. They never tan. They pale. They got freckles. That is the weakest type of skin. Type 2, they get a score from about a 7 to 13. They usually burn, but they tan on the minimum. You know what I'm saying? Type 3, they scores between 14 and 20. Sometimes they get a mild burn, they get a nice tan, real uniform. Type 4, they get a score of about 21 to 27. They burn minimally. And they always tan well, and they're moderate brown. You know what I'm saying. Then we got type 5. That's a score of 28 to 34. Very rarely gets a sunburn. Tans very easily. Kind of a dark brown, caramel brown. And then last but not least, type 6. 35 to 36. Never burns. Deeply pigmented. Dark brown to the darkest brown. Sound like a brownie up in here. Now, most of y'all don't know what that means. You think, well, it's just your skin color. No. It is melanin. That is melanin in your skin. If you look at the chromatic scale, if you do the brown paper bag scale, if you look at the emoji scale, if you look at the 5 modifiers according to Fitzpatrick scale, the more melanin you have in your system, the more resilient your life systems are, the more resilient your skin is. That's the Fitzpatrick scale. See, this is why you do your research. So when these conversations come up and somebody say something crazy like, well, you know, melanin people got more melanin than everybody else. And somebody say, how you know that? Where you get that from? And you go, well, that's what I heard. No, we got to be smarter than that. Now, if you want to improve your intuition and improve your health at the same time, let's talk about the pineal gland. You know the pineal gland. Come on, y'all know. Come on, stay with me now. With my alkaline, get charged. The pineal gland is a small pine cone shaped gland that is deep here in the center of the brain of the epithalamus. Okay, it's part of your endocrine system. It regulates your melatonin, which is a chemical that's produced in your brain that helps your body to sleep at night. When you're getting sleepy, your body is pumping out melatonin. It's trying to put you to sleep. It's nation's anesthesia. It puts you under. You're going under. You're trying to fight it, but you know you head bobbing. But it's melatonin. It's coming. It's pumping it out. It's time. The pineal gland function lies in governing the production of hormones, as well as the maintenance of your circadian rhythm. Now, your circadian rhythm is when you know, and I know everybody that you didn't even know you had one until this happened. You ever notice that you can stay up all night, but right around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, it's rough. That's where people be sitting there, they be like, bruh. Now, 7 o'clock, you back awake, but what's happening is that's your circadian rhythm. Your body actually has a rhythm to it. And if you violate the rhythm, it tries to adjust, but you just can't have it all over the place or it'll just shut you down. And you don't want that to happen. Now, what's making all of that, what's controlling all of that is your pineal gland. Okay? Now, in human beings, it's a little different. You know, scientists, they still trying to figure it out in us. But see, we've always known what the pineal gland is. It's our third eye. It's our spiritual symbol. It's our all-knowing to the yoga philosophy. It's the gateway for the soul's liberation. There's a book called Kundalini Tantra where they talk about, it says, it's also been called the third eye of intuition. It is the doorway through which the individual enters the astral and the physic dimensions of consciousness. Perhaps the most common name for this chakra is the third eye. And the mystical traditions of every age and culture make abundant references to it. Now, y'all already know that I've already destroyed that in the word. What they just said. Yes, the ability is there, but the manifestations are already things that we should have never known that was taught to us by the fallen angels. So we can't entertain that last part. What we can entertain, those of us that have decalcified our pineal glands, we can function at a higher level intellectually and in multitasking at the same time, and at the same time address different personalities. That's why y'all see so many different sides of me, because of the fact that I can go from one personality to another personality to code shifting immediately at the same time while I'm developing and at the same time trying to stay in tune with Yah. That's what your decalcified pineal. Listen, y'all know what your pituitary gland is, right? Okay, well, they balance each other. If you got an imbalance in your pineal gland or your pituitary gland, now you got sleep disturbances and you got problems with your sleep-wake cycle. Now you're all out of sync. You're out of tune. Okay? Now, some people, stay with me now, they call it the seat of the soul. That's what they call it. They said that is where your soul actually sits. However, they've proven that melatonin that's in part, that's regulated by the pineal gland. It lends credibility to the fact that if you increase your melatonin production, you can produce transcendental or mystical experiences during awakening, such as meditation. In other words, if I give you pure melatonin in your current state with your pineal gland already awake, it's said to induce a different level of consciousness. And most of y'all don't know this, and this is one of the reasons why we have to get away from this diet that's forced on us, is that most people don't realize that when you're born, your pineal gland is fully functional. But by the time you're 8 or 9 years old, the diet that they feed you calcifies it. In other words, turns it down. It turns it hard so it doesn't work. So now all of a sudden, you lose any ability to do any of those things. Now by the time you're 18, it's beyond repair unless you immediately reverse your diet and start giving it what it needs. Stop the fluoride, stop the processed food, stop the chemicals, stop putting these things in your brain. because they're affecting your pineal gland. Now you bring your alkaline level up and start eating dark leaf green vegetables and making sure you're getting the real nutrients, not something that's fake, no seedless stuff. Everything's natural, and your body do what it need to do. Cut out all these meats and whatnot. And maybe if you don't eat no sea bugs and whatnot, eat the fish that go in the sea. Don't eat the shit that crawl around. You're not supposed. You don't eat roaches in your house, do you? Why are you eating the sea bugs that crawl in the water? And you talk about I like crab. When you eating a sea bug, stop eating the sea bugs. He told you they don't eat anything that eats other dead things. Don't do that. Not supposed to be doing that. And then you can begin to decalcify your pineal gland, and you will know it because you will begin to have different types of experience. All y'all out here right now that's dreaming dreams, is having these visions, all y'all out here right now that's talking about I can feel like something coming. That's because most of y'all have gone and cleaned up yourself. You done detoxed yourself. You cleaned out your system. You like a clean car battery right now. So you are sensitive to things that are happening in the ether, things that are happening in the spirit world all around you. That's why people waking up, man, I just had the craziest damn dream. I don't even have dreams like that. I'm hearing a whole lot of that because you're sensitive now. Everybody trying to drink healthy now. Everybody trying to eat healthy good. You done cleaned up your antenna, and now you're picking up a transmission, and the transmission don't look good because you know that you got to get right. We all do. Now, I want to move on, because I wanted to talk about that. But we talked earlier in the first half about what happened with the kids. But there's another story that happened up in Aurora, where they had these kids between the age of 6 and 17. And they thought the car was stolen. And they put the kids out on the ground. Now, I'm noticing a pattern where the kids get treated just like adults now. And I don't know whether they changed the training school, or somebody make the person who make the training tapes is a different person. I don't know. And we really don't know. But somehow the children are now suddenly being treated just like the adults. Everybody face down. We don't give a damn who it is. Baby in diapers on the ground. Kids on the concrete? No. See, one of the things that I saw earlier this week was someone who was speaking about why you don't defund the police. What you really need to do is dismantle the entire culture. And when I said, well, how would they do that? They said we would have to go to a self-policing model till we came up with something else. But this monkey show they got right now, it's not about just moving just one piece. We have to destroy or dismantle it's a situation where, how can I say this? One of my lawyer friends told me, he said that he hated the system that he worked in. He wished he could destroy the entire construct. He didn't just want to defund the police. He wanted to defund, he said what they've done is they've built a system where now they can invade and occupy black neighborhoods. That's what the courts and the police have gotten together and done. And I'm like, wow, that's deep. He says, that's what I see every day. And I wish I could tear down that construct. And, when I think about that, I'm lost, because I can't understand how we could allow a system like that to continue to exist. Well, it's because we've been conditioned. We have to wake ourselves up. So now you know how to properly research. Now you also know a little bit more about some of the charges that can be brought. And you also know about some of the conflicts that we're running into inside of these movements right now. And on top of that, look, y'all stop comparing people who are not equal. I'm not a comedian. I'm not an entertainer. I don't make songs. I ain't selling no books. I ain't out here asking y'all. I ain't taking y'all to no fake conventions. I ain't doing no shit like that. I'm a global activist and a revolutionary. I don't know why y'all comparing me to somebody who's a joke, who's a comedian. And you're actually letting them speak on someone who's doing something on this scale, and you put everybody on the same level. It's very interesting to me. It's very disheartening also. That's all I have for y'all tonight. I was going to get into something else, but I decided that we're going to save a little bit for tomorrow night, because I want to keep the pace going up until we exit from social media. I want to wish you all a good evening. I hate to leave y'all this way, but I know that y'all will join me for the morning mental. The morning mental. And we can then see what Yah has said that's on my mind for tonight is something that I can continue for tomorrow. I want to thank all y'all for hanging out with me. And I also wanted to send a big shout out. And I have to say this because I don't really shout out a lot of people because I try to keep things quiet. But I have to send a big shout out to all of the people that have written me letters telling me that they are committed to NFAC for life. And when I say for life, I'm talking about some blood oath pledges here where people are stepping up saying, look, it is what it is. The time is right now. And I'm ready to go do what I need to do. Okay? And I'm forsaking family and everything else to make it happen. I have to salute those people. And I'm not going to give out everybody's names. Matter of fact, I'm not going to give out anybody's names at this point because of the fact that anonymity is one of our strengths. They can't infiltrate us. And I also want to salute all the new chapters that I'm seeing standing up everywhere. I'm seeing some beautiful things happening. People are organizing themselves. Yes, brothers are arming themselves correctly. People are at the ranges. People are training right now. I am so excited about the next formation that we are going to do, and I hope you can make plans to be there because this one is going to be much more impactful and bigger than the last one, and the whole world will be watching. So I hope that you can find it in your heart to come out and stand the post for your people at the next Black Guns formation, location to be announced sooner than you think. Everybody knows we learn from our mistakes, but we still going to be black. We still going to be powerful. We still going to be the black militia that we are, and we need to get that justice. So I want to thank y'all again for hanging out with me. I want y'all to know that if there's something that I've taught on that you want to see the reruns, they will be available on my YouTube channel. A lot of them are going up right now as we begin to exit from the gram. Hope y'all move with me. I don't expect everybody to go. A lot of y'all just came to see what's happening, but that's okay. I still love y'all all none the same. Remember, keep your feet on the ground, keep your head to the sky. And if you can perceive it and believe it, you can achieve it. I am the official Grandmaster Jay. This is Factz Ova Feelingz, the most interrupted and hated show on all of live media. I'll see you all later. To the children of the Most High, I bid you shalom. To all of my Muslim brothers, assalamu alaikum. And all of the folks that still practice the slave master's Bible, God bless you. I've given you all those accolades because no matter what you call him, you're still worshiping the Most High. And I shall see you much later.